The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, heard Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on PSA.com and the PSA Facebook page. The Great American Collectibles Show is brought to you by PSA and the National Sports Collectors Convention. Tonight's headlines are brought to you by Sports Collectors Daily. For all of your hobby news, features, and more, visit sportscollectorsdaily.com. And now, your hosts, Tom Zappala, John Molori, and Rico Petrocelli.
You know what's interesting? You know what the best thing about this is?
What is it?
The toilet paper here is much better quality than the old studio. Much better.
That's a big step up.
I mean, are you kidding me?
Right, back there, our problems were all behind us.
We call that radio station toilet paper back there. This 5-ply is freaking awesome.
It's this, and back there, it's the same stuff they put in the printers.
Well, welcome to the show, everybody. Now you know about the toilet paper. I want to get Come on, let's go.
Hey, this is our initial show.
Welcome to Studio 21.
The Studio 21
right.
Podcast Cafe. Tom Zappala, Rico, and JM. What a beautiful studio.
Oh, it's so
unbelievable.
Great to be here with
It's
you two
great.
guys.
I know,
mean,
it really is, you know. And, you know, keep in mind that for this initial show, we're being broadcast on Facebook Live and YouTube. We have a YouTube channel now. Then we're going to be, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be part of the Podbean, it's called, Chrissy?
Podbean, B-E-A-N.
Podbean. And then from there, we're going to go on platforms all over the country, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all of those good things. So it's going to be really, really cool as time goes on.
Oh, yeah.
David, welcome.
Country's not screwed up
Hello.
enough.
I know that. Davey boy, Chrissy Cunningham.
Yeah.
We have from Australia.
Hi, everyone.
She's from Australia.
G'day, everybody.
So Chrissy, do you know anything about baseball?
Not a whole lot, no, Tom, I don't.
Oh, we're gonna ask some
social-
questions.
I'm going to have lots of
She
double
fits right in with us.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We got a lot. We got Major League's had a bunch of players from Australia. They have baseball.
Yeah?
Name
Our
one.
I didn't say
our
we
winter
didn't.
is our winter is your summer.
Name one.
Huh?
Name one player.
Charlie Schilling.
Oh, I know him.
You know?
No, I don't know.
Chuck Schilling wasn't from Australia.
No, yeah, there's a lot of guys.
Yeah,
Who
he
do you
used a
remember
pouch
names?
instead of a glove.
That's right. All right, listen, we have a good show today. Our initial guest for the launch is a guy that's been with us off and on for quite a bit now.
He is.
And look at him. Look at him. He's
all happy.
He's sober.
He's happy, he's sober.
Sober.
Those two things usually don't go together.
He's bathed. He even bathed for the show.
Hard to tell, but I'll take your word for it.
Derek Grady from Heritage Auctions. Hey, Derek, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, doing well, guys.
Good. So Derek's going to join us.
New studio.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. We have, you can't see it, but this is literally a podcast cafe. There's you can probably sit 40 or 50 people in here. There's a coffee bar. People, we're going to do some events up here where people can come in, watch us live. It's going to be kind of fun, Rico.
Wow.
He's going.
Is Rico there? Hey, Rico.
Well,
I thought he was talking to Derek.
Here's the
today?
fun part for me. Just before we went on, Rico and I were going through all the spelling errors in the.
Oh yeah, that was
some of
quick.
the stuff we
I
said.
admit that. All right, listen. Our headline.
Grown man.
Our headline is that the Al Kaline collection is being offered by Heritage Auction.
It is.
Rico, what kind of a player was that? I mean, how good was he?
Not very good. The guy only made the Hall of Fame, for Pete's sakes. He was a great player,
was a
but he
great
wasn't
player.
flashy. See, that's why.
Underrated player, right?
Yeah.
Very underrated.
Really, seriously.
Yeah, no, he really
He
was,
could hit.
yeah.
He got a great arm. He was a great outfielder.
But he had the personality that kind of stayed under the radar.
that was
too.
the
That's
thing.
what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, he was, like Dwight Evans and the Red
Same
Sox.
thing,
Very-
exactly.
things
Very,
like
very
that.
close, very close. But you know something, Derek? You're going to read the headline. Tell us about the Kaline collection. When's it up? Tell us about it, because it's you got it directly from him, right?
We did. Well, directly from the family. I was scheduled to, go meet with the family, and he got sick, and then, sadly passed away. So I never got to meet him personally, but his family's great. Wife, sons, met both of them, and they gave us, that he wanted to share with the, with the collecting public, and he was Mr. Tiger. So very popular in Detroit as a radio broadcaster, announcer after his career there. Spent his whole career, 21-year career with the Tigers. Still had an office in the stadium, and where he went every day. Loved to golf. As he retired.
What are some of the items that you're going to be?
So we have bats, jerseys, awards. Ted Williams signed items to K-Line. Actually, a Babe Ruth item to K-Line. Some pretty cool stuff, but jewelry, and you get a lot of awards as a ball player when you have 3,000 hits and you have everything. Gold gloves, like a dozen gold gloves. He was a great fielder, a great hitter.
Great player.
1968 championship year. We have stuff from that. It's really a large collection.
That was a hell of a ball team, that 68 team.
Derek, it's great. Obviously, you guys have so many great things that come from collectors all over the country, families, what have you. But it's special, I know, as someone who collects. But also, I'm wondering for you guys, is it special when you get something directly from that ball player, directly from his home and family?
There's nothing that beats that. I mean, I will tell you, and a lot of people know that, I am still friends with Brooks Robinson. And that was one of the highlights of my career, was meeting him, going to a game with him, watching college football with him. And then also, he gave everything to charity. So watching us take the stuff from his basement and his closets that he saved, and it all went to charity. Cool. That was exciting. And I think K-Lines are given a portion to charity. But collectors love to get stuff with the letters are going to be signed from the family. So every auction lot's going to have the provenance from the Al K-Line family, that this was theirs, his, and came from their house.
Rick?
It's as good as it gets. Why is Rico laughing?
I have no idea.
I write down. I get the questions from. I have you write them, right?
I do.
You do them.
That's a bad idea. Okay,
Well, wait.
stop that.
Here's a man with college education, very successful.
Here we go.
John, you guys,
very successful. Qualify that. And
you
where does the
guys
green
have.
from?
Wait a second. You guys have HAVEW. You guys have a great career. What's in store for you, the rest of it? Tell us about the October 28th auction.
Right.
Thank you.
See? What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
I think that was a question.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's November 18th to the 20th. The October 28th auction, the showcase auction?
Yeah.
Okay. It's when? It's the 23rd. Oh, it's tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't even think you have a date right, Tom.
No, actually, that one didn't come from me, but that's okay.
Okay, good. So we're okay. So Heritage does not have an auction on October 28th.
Take it so serious. Gee.
But you do have a November 10th auction.
18th to the 20th, yeah.
And tell us about that, because that's the real high end stuff.
That's our big catalog to end the year. Okay, and that's going to have high end PSA cards, sets, wax boxes, 54 Mantle jersey, a Killebrew jersey photo match from 1961, championship rings of all sports, game used bats. It's just really going to have everything. It's going to be over 4,000 lots.
Jesus.
Fabulous. Wow.
JM?
Heritage, in Heritage, always you get the big names. You get the Garrigs, you get the Ruths, Mathewson. What are we looking at for this upcoming auction, Derek, in terms of those guys? Those,
the vintage guys.
Always good vintage guys that are, the blue chip stocks.
We have a T206 set. We have T206 Cobbs in probably almost every grade from 8 down. Something for every collector. Always have Gowdy Ruth in an 8. Yeah. A fine from one of our better consignments for this auction was Lee and I went up to the Boston area, and we met with a family that their grandfather worked for the Gowdy Company. Really? Literally saved the cards. I remember them from about 20 years ago because the family divided up the cards. And one group got rid of them. This group didn't. And as soon as I saw them, I was like, this is right from the Gowdy factory. These are as good as it gets.
That's interesting because the Gowdy cards, man, they haven't lost a step. Are these high end? Are they graded or are they ungraded?
Yeah, graded. Yes. They're going to all be graded. They're going to be over 2 auctions starting in November and then finishing off in January.
Wow.
There's
Yeah.
a couple Lajoies, and they were threes, but again,
So
they're
what?
from these are untouched by human hands, right? I mean, from Gaudi to the family and then put away.
Is Bobby Thompson? Do you have his card, or is it worth anything? The shot heard around the world.
Yeah, I mean his 52 tops is a high number, so that card's got some value to it.
Yeah,
But he's famous, not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's one of those cult guys.
yeah.
Is that happening much, Derek, with guys like Rico's mentioning? Like, I know the Andy Pafko's worth some money because it's the first card.
I had a lot of
it's
Andy Pafko.
right. It's the first card. But I'm saying guys like Bobby Thompson, Al Gianfrido,
Rip Rapolsky.
Mazeroski.
Bill Mazeroski. Are those cards? Do they stay pretty much level, or are those cards slowly increasing also as time goes on?
I mean, I would say if anything, and well, first of all, Maz made the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So that makes
Right.
him more collectible. Yeah, you always have people that collect special, things that have happened in the World Series or pitchers, no-hit pitchers, perfect game pitchers. And then you got your cult guys like in Boston. I know Rico's a cult guy. People love him. Might not be in the Baseball Hall of
Right.
Fame, but as far as the Red Sox go.
And same thing with
people love him.
Dwight. Same thing with Dwight.
Yeah,
I mean,
Dwight Evans should be in the Hall of
he
Fame.
should
That's
absolutely
I mean, Dwight
be in
is
the
one of
Louis
yeah,
Tion.
Yeah, Louis. I mean, those
Louis
guys.
Tion should be in the Hall of Fame. I agree.
Yeah.
You know.
But
And if you say Dwight Evans should be, I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah,
It took
I'm
them a while to put Jim Rice in, which was crazy. Jim
15
Rice should have
years.
been like first ballot.
yeah,
It did.
I think with
15.
Evans is that Evans throughout most of his career, and you were there for a lot of it,
Yeah,
for the beginning of his career, anyway, the first 3-4 years, he was in such a shadow behind Yaz, and then Lynn had that breakout
Lynn
year.
and Rice.
Had a great rookie year,
Yeah.
even behind guys like yourself who had established
Well,
yourself
me.
as players.
But
in the 80s, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he led the American League in extra base hits for a decade. And there's no argument that he was the best right fielder of his generation. When you start talking about best and top and lead, that's a Hall of Famer.
I don't know his numbers. I have to look.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's not everything.
well, he's got well over 1,000 RBI.
Yeah, he didn't quite get to 400 homers, like 380 something.
yeah, like
and his
Rice.
average isn't over 300. It's probably about, I'm guessing, 280 something.
No,
like
not
that,
even that
too.
high. I think it was
Maybe
like in the
not
70s,
Yeah,
wasn't
so
it?
I know that statistically it doesn't. But when you look at some of the people that have gone in, he's a superlative guy.
I
He was
agree.
the best.
I totally agree with
You're
that.
talking about Evans?
Yeah.
272 batting average.
272.
Yeah.
What's wrong
385
with that?
home runs.
385
nothing.
homers. Right.
You know, listen, again, I know you're not going to want to hear this, but I've said it 1,000 times. You had a 251
Oh,
lifetime batting
please.
average.
Well, yeah, what?
You had a 251 lifetime.
Yeah, right. That's right.
If you would have had a 285 lifetime batting average, you would have been a bubble guy.
I didn't want to.
Okay.
By the way,
Because they would expect
what do you mean you didn't want it?
would have expected
Just so you know,
somebody every year.
that's 34 more points.
I know.
It's not like
Are
he
you
was 2
kidding?
points away. He wasn't a couple hits away.
Well, my speed, I should have had him. Anyway, Derek,
That's
the
good point.
50s.
Good point.
I know
I'll take it.
to grow the industry. Do you think that there has to be more, or is there enough at this point? And hopefully, it'll keep on of the more recent cards.
Good question.
Going into the 50s and even now, with the Trouts and the Otanis and them.
So we're asking is
Is it for the
vintage
industry? For the
collectible or is the
industry,
modern coming?
no, I want to know if you your feelings, your thoughts on if it's important for the growth of the industry or to keep it going as we
Yeah,
go along,
absolutely. And
Well,
What
I'm
we're
saying
seeing-
his question. I want to ask him. Tell me if I'm right about this.
Yeah.
He's saying a card like Otani or Trout or Wander Franco. Right now, for us, the valuable vintage cards are the Gaudis, the play balls. To the
50s.
generation that's 15, 16, 18 years old now, are those cards 30 years from now, 35 years from now, going to be to them what the vintage cards are to us?
That, but also will stuff like that help the industry to continue its success, so that the younger people or even collectors, will buy those cards. So
yeah, I mean, I think
important,
so.
right?
The market is really hot right now. I can give you an example so we just did the Long Island Trade Show.
Yeah.
I had one vintage case and one modern case. Okay. In the modern case, there were Lamar Jackson's, Patrick Mahomes cards, Trout, Otani, a little bit of everybody from different sports, right? That case got 10 times the amount of questions and looks as our vintage case.
Really?
With Babe Ruth. Oh yeah, it was neat to see, and at the same time it shows you how much my team has to learn, because we're vintage experts and learning this modern stuff, because I am telling you right now, and there was not just young people looking at the modern cases. There were guys in their 50s looking at the modern
But
cases.
is that bad for the vintage market? I mean, is that going to hurt
plenty of guys want the vintage.
Okay.
Plenty of guys still want the vintage.
Right?
Yeah.
I agree
Plenty of guys
100%.
still want the vintage. Don't get me wrong. It's just there is a huge, the modern is here to stay. The manufacturers, it's on the manufacturers too, to keep the interest going, and they are selling out of all their products.
But don't
and
you
they have those chase cards. I don't love insert cards because they make all those one of ones,
Yeah.
but then there's 50 one of ones. It's hard for me to give estimates, or my team to give estimates on these cards, because they're just, you really don't know what somebody's going to pay until it goes to auction. There's some really expensive cards that come out of this modern, and I guess I worry that if something happens to a guy, so something happens, you pay $1 million for some rookie card or $500,000, and the guy fizzles out after a couple of years. We've seen it before. It's happened.
Absolutely.
And is that person going to get depressed and leave the market, or are they going to stay in the market and take their lumps?
That's right.
I don't know yet.
If they have a great rookie year and then go on, and then
That's
you can
good.
go back and and say, hey, I want this card. This guy's going to be a Hall of Famer.
I think having that, and you can speak to this, Derek, I think having that diversity in the marketplace is good, right? Because you're talking about,
Absolutely.
let's say at a show where, okay, everyone's looking at the quote-unquote modern case. It's only a little flick of the head that they're going to see something else. And it's okay, I think, to have older buyers and younger buyers in the industry as a whole, isn't it?
And some of those newer buyers are wise that it doesn't hurt to add some blue chip guys like Cobb and Ruth and Gehrig to your portfolio, and Aaron rookies, Clemente rookies. The rookie cards are still hotter than ever.
Right.
Gowdy Ruth, if you were just buying for 20 years, every Gowdy Ruth and T206 Cobb, just dumb it down to those two issues. Gowdy Ruth, T206 Cobbs, in any grade from 1 to 8, you would have 10 extra money.
Right.
Because everything's gone up. Cobb's in authentic holders. Just having the card, Ruth, and those cards are just always going to be iconic, and we still get excited every time we get Gowdy Ruth on.
That's cool. That is cool. We are chatting with Derek Grady. And by the way, our giveaway from the Staten Island Joe Baseball Hall of Fame Museum Shop cheap bag. What?
He's showing the fold. Turn
Well,
it
so
around.
what?
Yeah, show the whole.
What's it
all the
made out
players.
of?
You don't have to
Toilet
show it to
paper?
me.
No,
I've
it's
seen
just,
it.
this is
Show it to
legit
the
paper.
Oh, that's nice.
Right? Isn't that quality?
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Okay, why are you showing it to Rico? Show it to the
Well,
people.
no, they've seen it. We're going to be giving away a signed Rico Petrocelli.
Is that the one with the paragraph on it? I won't say to
No,
whom,
but this
Rico
is-
was signing an autograph before the show that was literally a paragraph.
Rico's holding two bats. One says to Rico, "Best of luck, Ty." I don't know what that is, and the other one says something about Cap Anson, your friend Cap. I don't know what the hell that means.
Oh, boy.
We are chatting with Derek Grady. Derek, we've got, before we take a break, a little bit about your background. You started as a collector, and then you became a grader. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because we've never really talked about that a zillion times we've had you on the show.
Yeah, so you want me to try and jam this into like 2 minutes before a break?
A minute and 34 seconds.
Yeah, less than that. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's easy to do. Just started
give us the
collecting,
highlights.
1979, my first box of football cards. Okay, and I became a Roger Staubach fan, even living in Western Pennsylvania. Always got excited to find one of those old Beckett books and look up my cards and look at the value and think I'm getting rich because I'm looking up these cards that are 10 cents and 50 cents. Oh, that card's $2. But I actually took literally what it says in the beginning of the price guide, which how to grade and to grade a card, which most people don't. They just thought they had the card and it's worth $100. It could be torn in half and they still think it's $100.
Right.
So you have to, I always took grading literally. Then I put away my cards till I was about 15. And one of my friends asked me if I still had baseball cards. He wanted to buy them. I said, no, I'm going to keep them. And he took me to a coin store and my life changed because on the other side of the coin store, there was a a dark room that was the card shop on a Saturday.
Oh, geez.
And I went in there and I was like reborn. It was crazy. I saw Willie Stargell rookie cards and Clemente cards and Mantle cards. And, it was crazy. And that's when 84 Dwight Gooden's Fleer updates and tradeds were the bee's knees. You couldn't wait to get an 84. So my first card that I actually paid $4 for, that I saved up for my paper route, was Topps traded Dwight Gooden rookie in a stand-up loose side holder.
Jesus.
Got it
Very
from Jake
cool.
at Bedford Street News.
Do you still have the card?
I do.
That's cool. All right, listen, we're going to take...
Sign. I met Dwight Gooden, and it's, had all my
That's
cards signed.
very cool. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We are chatting with our good friend Derek Grady from Heritage Auctions. We're going to take a break. Hang in there, and we will be
Right back.
Thank you.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi everyone, I'm Rico Petrocelli, and I'm very excited to talk to you about our new partner, Panini America. Panini America is the world leader in licensed sports and entertainment collectibles, and we're proud to have them as the official trading card of the Great American Collectibles Show. When it comes to modern trading cards of your favorite players, Panini America leads the way in terms of innovation, design, creativity, value, and fun. From landmark brands such as Donruss, Prism, and Contenders to high-end juggernauts like Flawless, National Treasures, and Immaculate, Panini America delivers the hottest trading cards of the biggest names in the NBA, NFL, MLB, PA, NASCAR, soccer, and college. When you want to collect the best, collect Panini America. Ask for it at your local hobby shop or at mass retailers like Target and Walmart. And you can always find Panini America online at icollectpanini.com. Panini America. Who do you collect? How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Now look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auction and Collectibles Company. If you're looking to maximize your return on your sports cards and collectibles, look no further. We at Memory Lane Auction House offer you several options to achieve top dollar for your collectibles. Whether you're looking to auction or sell privately, we're the #1 choice with over 17 years in the hobby. Nobody will work harder to achieve your goals. Just call us today at 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE. Or visit us on the web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Go with the best. Go with Memory Lane.
Now on deck with Rico Petrocelli. Rico Petrocelli. Hi, my name is Chloe. Time for On Deck with Rico Petrocelli.
Okay, it is time for our segment On Deck with Rico, brought to us by our good friend Brian Dwyer and the great staff at REA Auctions. Don't forget to get your bid in by going to robertedwardauctions.com. That's Robert Edward Auctions for extraordinary results and extraordinary service. That's Derek's buddy. He's a good guy. Brian Dwyer's a good guy. All right, so here's our question. And the question is, and this will be for another Rico Petrocelli signed photo that Rico was generous enough to give. There it is right there. I can just put it in front of your face.
I took that last week.
Do like a before and after.
They'll turn us off
before time did its damage. Look at that guy.
Oh my God! So this week's question is from Brandon Gagnon. Oh, this is an easy one. Rico, what was the toughest pitch for you to hit?
Toughest pitch?
Yeah.
The actual pitch?
No, the type of pitch.
Don't
get specific.
I'll tell you what.
Yes, which pitch from which person?
Yeah, exactly.
Game.
1968.
Time out. Come on.
What kind of a pitch?
I would say, depending on the pitcher, like Nolan Ryan, high fastball, you got no chance, right? Some other guys had a great sinker ball, but I would say the pitch that was low and away, whether it was a fastball or curveball, slider, very tough to hit. You hope that you fouled it off, but that's the location, and it was a good breaking ball. Catfish Hunter had when he was on, man, right.
So those are the guys that are basically painting the corners, painting the lower left.
Yeah,
that's got to be tough to do, man.
Well, especially if he's got a good fastball.
So the thing is, and with Ryan, you kind of knew it was coming. You still couldn't hit it. I don't mean just you.
No,
generally
really.
speaking, even though you knew it, because that's the whole thing with baseball, right? Is anticipation.
Sure.
And in this situation, he's going to throw me an off-speed pitch. You knew it was coming, and you still. You couldn't get it.
Still couldn't hit it, boy. 100 miles an hour. What the hell?
Rico, what about the high heat, top of the strike zone? Were those hard to hit fastball?
Yeah, and it's tough to lay off.
Could you hit the knuckler?
Oh, I hit the knuckler real well.
Yeah, you could. Okay.
Yeah,
you took him. Who's that, Elroy Face?
Huh?
Elroy Face, right?
No, hey, Wilhelm.
Oh,
yeah, the Kaiser.
Wilhelm.
The Kaiser, yeah. The Kaiser.
We've talked about this before, Derek. So tell the story. How we used to.
Yeah, he had his head to the side.
Yeah.
And so as a rookie, I went up and I'm looking at him. I said, I figured it was something that, he was doing. So I put my head to the side, and here it comes, But it was...
That's awesome.
Did you got a hit off him, though?
I hit a home run off him. He threw a 3-2 fastball.
Did he? What?
Oh.
Yeah. Why would he do that? To try to
I don't
fake
know.
you out?
Yeah, he says, they didn't want to walk me. I was a kid, my first year. He throws me a fastball.
That was
bang.
like 70 miles an hour?
Yeah. I was right. I hit it up in the net and running around the bases. I was cloud nine. He's swearing at me. You son of a bitch. You'll never get another fastball.
Who threw harder, Ryan or Gibson?
Ryan.
Ryan did.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Who had the better control?
Well, Gibson.
That probably made Ryan more fearful.
Ryan was just...
Hey, Derek, you feel free to ask a question,
No, he doesn't have. We want to ask him about.
I know that. I know. Hey, all right. So, Johnny, do you have a question?
Sorry for interrupting.
I do, Derek, and this is a little bit off the pad. We talk a lot about what we call in the modern guys. We just mentioned them: Ohtani, Trout, those guys. We talk a lot about the vintage guys. I want to ask you where, and again, this is a little bit off the beaten path, but. You can make an argument that Roger Clemens was the greatest pitcher in the history of the game. You can make the argument 7 Cy Young Awards. You can also make the argument.
7 was that before or after?
Can I get to the question? You can also make the argument that Roger Clemens was the greatest pitcher in the history. I mean, that Barry Bonds was the greatest hitter in the history of the game.
Excuse me, I have to.
So here's my question.
I'll be right back.
Here's my question. Where are the quote-unquote steroid boys in the collecting right now?
I think people think they're going to get into the Hall of Fame. And I think when you look at Clemens and Bonds, I've never seen in my lifetime people that were, they walked Barry Bonds in.
Right.
They bases loaded. They walked him.
Yeah.
He was not even getting good pitches, and they were in McCovey Cove.
Yep.
I mean, and he was phenomenal. I'm a Pirate fan before the Pirates had to lose everybody, as we've talked about. And he was great in Pittsburgh and before the steroid thing even started. And Clemens was too. And to think that other people that didn't get tested, didn't get caught, they played, I think almost the whole league probably was to some degree, or most good people were, good players. And I think they're going to find their way, and they're getting closer on the votes. And I definitely think Bonds is getting in and Clemens is getting in.
So
and I don't know how much.
When and if they get in, is that going to make their card and item
Well, I think
value
people are
rise?
hedging their bets that they're going to get in.
Yep.
And because their numbers are too ridiculous to not put them in. And we don't know when they started or didn't. But just assume if you were a hitter, a lot of those good pitchers may have been. And assume as a pitcher, a lot of those good hitters may have been. Right?
Yep.
So, hey, look, we know for a fact the Astros stole signs, right?
Yeah.
They didn't take the World Series away from them. They cheated. And they're not losing the World Championship. It goes down in history as they won the World Series.
Yep.
And they did it for years. And so, again, there's plenty of guys that don't make the minors or big leagues on steroids or on anything.
All right, so let me ask you guys, the three of you guys, this question.
Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
It's time
absolutely.
for
Yeah,
Pete
I
Rose
agree
to
with
be-
that.
It's time for Pete Rose.
I
all-time
agree.
hit leader. Why
All right,
isn't
so
it? I get it.
As time is going on, steroids are becoming harder and harder to detect. And so my question is, what's going to happen if a guy like Bonds gets in and a guy like Clemens? Isn't that going to open up the floodgates for younger players to really
No,
crap? He got in.
So my answer is no, only because I think that the rules and the laws are much more stringent and clear now. When Clemens and Bonds, if they did, started taking steroids, and McGuire, throw McGuire, Palmeiro, that whole group in there, there weren't even hard and fast, correct me if I'm wrong, hard and fast rules in baseball against steroids. Right. There weren't yet. So I think that's what brought it on. So now I think it's a lot harder to do it. That's my answer to that question.
I agree.
I'm interested in what Rico thinks.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
So do you think Clemens should be in?
I think they all should be in.
You do, Rico. Huh? And a guy who played in the era before then, you're okay with them.
Yes.
You'd be okay
now,
with them
at
in.
first I wasn't. I said, man, this is. But as time goes by, and like you said, Derek, these guys were great before there was even
those two guys were
absolutely.
Listen, there's no argument for me there. Both of them before,
especially Bonds.
And no, Clemens. Before Clemens went to Toronto, he was a stud. He was a stud.
Yeah.
There was no doubt, no doubt. Derek, what about? I want to switch gears for a minute. There's a lot going on in Dallas with the Dallas show. You guys must have a presence there. Tell us what's going on there with those Dallas shows.
I think they just, right after the pandemic, the promoter got a good idea. It's a big area. It's a Dallas Metroplex is growing. And somebody decided to put on a show. And that was probably and Dallas during the pandemic was more open Texas was more open of a state. So they could run a show and it caught on. And I think that's part of they had. And they do different things there's people trading in the hallways and in the banquet rooms after the show till 3 a.m, collectors trading. Wow. Promoters are getting more into the breaks, having a break room, having trade nights, it's really a new, so not just the Dallas show. Now you have the Las Vegas convention that's actually this weekend, and we will not be there, but I was told that it's going to be a reoccurring show. So, and the promoter plans on making it work. So that's him throwing money at it. So if they keep advertising, it's in Vegas, and we know Vegas can work for trade conventions. So that's going to be a big show. And again, you're going to start seeing, I love the fact. So yes, these new shows in Dallas, that's been a success. Hopefully the show in Vegas will be one. They're looking at other areas where we haven't had them before. But a good sign was the Long Island show. On Sunday, usually at a show at, say, 1 p.m., the herd starts to thin. You start to think about breaking down your booth because there's just not going to be that many people.
Right.
At 3:30, there were still people all through the room. Going into, and this is a Sunday. This is Sunday with football. So a lot of people like to leave to watch football or don't come.
Right.
And the room was still very well packed at 3:30. We didn't leave till 4. That never happened. This is a good sign. It just shows the growth of the hobby.
Very cool.
And as we break into other areas, there's going to be more and more promoters. I talked to a promoter in where was he? Baltimore or Atlanta. He was in Atlanta, and he did his first successful show, and now he's having another big show. And they're trying to get manufacturers and grading services. It's not easy to get a grading service anymore because they're so busy at the office. Then they try and get some auction companies, which, I mean, we're extremely busy. It's hard for us to go make every trade show, even if it's a great one. We only have so much staff to go that knows everything from memorabilia and cards, to be able to do appraisals.
Very cool.
I have a question.
Yeah. We got about 4 minutes left, by the way, with Derek.
Oh, that's plenty, yeah. Plenty for my questions.
More than enough time.
Inflation growing. Are you concerned about?
Jesus, that's 2 good questions in a row from him.
That's too complicated.
The man is
Derek,
the man's been in broadcasting a long time. Why are you surprised?
No, seriously. With inflation growing, and they're concerned about selling the cards, or what do you?
I'll tell you this: what I've been told as, somehow, the president slips into his bill about people knowing whether you have $600 in the bank. Whatever that means, there's more people putting money into other collectibles and other things. And there's a lot of people, diversifying assets that are coming into this business and buying cards, memorabilia, a new realm of people with money that I've never seen before. Now, I would argue that they came from art, because I never knew who buys all this artwork. That are sports fans, mind you. What made them finally, I was always hopeful that people would view a Mickey Mantle rookie card as art or a game-used Babe Ruth bat, okay, as opposed to this painting they go spend that looks like, in my opinion, a lot of modern art looks like crap, okay? Meanwhile, they're sitting in a box at Yankee Stadium. They go to World Series games, they go to Super Bowls, and they don't care to own anything.
Right. Good
now
point.
I think those people do care, and it's really starting to change the game to where you're seeing these numbers on game-used bats with the population report, too, that PSA did. Hobby did a population report on bats, and you're starting to see that these high-graded game-used bats are very low population, and they are a good investment. People are loving buying this stuff, not just as and then I think some of the investors go into it that they're doing this as an investment, and they fall in love with the stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a coincidence that all this is happening as the Great American Collectibles Show continues to grow. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure it was.
Hey, we're getting bigger. We're in a new studio.
I sent you an email.
That's it, man. Right? But when you think
Next
about
thing
it,
it will be on ESPN.
And don't you think also, Derek, what you're talking about are investors. And as all these news stories hit about $4 million for this card, $3.7 million for that card, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. This is another area. Again, talking about earlier about diversifying. If you're diversifying your investment portfolio now, doesn't matter if you know what Rico Petrocelli's batting average was in 1972.
251.
You're looking to make a buck. Hey, this might be a fertile landscape for that. So.
Yeah, I love the fact that I collect memorabilia because I see cards in my sleep. And I understand cards are more liquid. Okay, you can go to VCP. You can look up what the last one sold for. And when there's a game-worn Willie Mays jersey, okay, why is it graded a 9? Why is it graded an 8?
Right.
This is a stain. This has this. It's not as easy to price it out. I think if you want to talk about one of the great, number 2 to Ruth, in my opinion, of the greatest players of all time, Willie Mays, to be able to touch a game-worn Mays uniform or photo-matched uniform with great provenance, graded, authenticated, under $500,000. Now, they're not there yet, but I'm just making a point. Aaron jerseys, Mays jerseys, Mantle jerseys, so much rarer than cards. And we love cards, and we love card collectors.
Yeah.
But memorabilia, to me, it's a true piece of the game.
Interesting. Your website, sir?
HA.com.
Hey, listen, quick question before we let you go. Are you going to be at the Boston show?
Of course. I'm always
Well,
there.
we have to work this out because on that.
Where I come in the studio?
Yeah, I think so. On the 3rd, we're going to see if we can get you in here to kind of co-host with. I don't even know who's on. Which one of you two is on, but we're going to see if we can get you in here. All right?
If Rico's on, I'll come watch and have a
Talk to my people. Do I have a? I have a room. I have a separate
My name is
room with
Dennis.
pink M&Ms and
Please
stuff.
consider making
All right?
a donation to the Jimmy.
Wow, that was kind of cool. All right, listen, we love you, brother. We'll talk to you next time.
See you, Derek.
Take care.
Bye, Derek.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you.
Take care, buddy.
Derek Grady from Heritage. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to try to track down Al Crisafoli, and I think we can Love of the Game auctions. Now, Al, his hair is getting longer and longer, by the way.
Yeah,
You're going to notice
I remember that.
Can we take a break, guys? All right, hang in there. We're going to be right back.
My name is Davis. Please consider making a donation to the Jimmy Fund and Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and help stamp out cancer in kids. We have all been touched by cancer, but we can win the battle. Please make your donation, and remember, no amount is too small. The Jimmy Fund is the official charity of the Boston Red Sox. Thanks very much.
Hi, I'm Rico Petrocelli. I hope you listen to my pal Davis and make a contribution. We want to make children's cancer a thing of the past, and with your help, we can do it. Just go to TomZappalaMedia.com to make your charitable donation.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song.
Panini America is the world leader in licensed sports and entertainment collectibles, and we are proud to have them as the official trading card company of the Great American Collectibles Show. Panini leads the way in innovation and design with great brands like Donruss, Prism, Contenders, Flawless, National Treasures, and Immaculate. Partnering with the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball Players Association, NASCAR, FIFA, and college, Panini is certainly at the head of the hobby. You can find Panini products in major retailers like Walmart and Target, or online at icollectpaniniamerica.com. That's Panini America. Who do you collect?
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auction and Collectibles Company. If you're looking to maximize your return on your sports cards and collectibles, look no further. We at Memory Lane Auction House offer you several options to achieve top dollar for your collectibles. Whether you're looking to auction or sell privately, we're the #1 choice with over 17 years in the hobby. Nobody will work harder to achieve your goals. Just call us today at 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE. Or visit us on the web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Go with the best. Go with Memory Lane.
Okay, we are back. Al Crisafoli just texted me. He is not going to be joining us today. He's stuck somewhere. I'm not going to say where
like
he's
in the
stuck.
mud?
No, he's stuck somewhere, but I can't tell you where he's stuck, but he's stuck.
His toe in the drain.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
But
the faucet
anyway.
of the tub.
Hey, okay, Rico, let's talk about.
I love
let's.
that.
Can we do this now? Can we
Yes,
do this like
anything
two?
you want.
You and I tend not to do live reads to the best of our abilities.
Why? No, wait a minute. Go ahead.
Sadly, I think you are doing them to the best of your ability.
So can we?
more accurate,
Still
I
think you're
feel.
real good at.
Can we both? Can we both try this?
Well, yeah, all right. You wanted me to do it good?
I didn't say that. You
Yeah.
couldn't do it good if I
Why don't
begged you.
try,
Yeah, you watch.
try
Do it
doing
good
it
this
good.
Go ahead.
Rico.
Do you want to try to do it good?
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to read this.
He's going to do it good.
Do it good.
Failed already.
This is dramatic.
No, this is why it's very important. This goes out to all card collectors. Who's that? The ones who bought their first pack when they were 10 and still feel 10 when they buy a pack at 50.
That's three
The hell
sentences
is
in a
that?
row he got right.
The ones who obsessively go to eBay to research. The ones hoping desperately to find that card they don't just want, they need. eBay is here for them with a trick for every trade, like advanced tools for price checking with our Price Guide Beta, improved management with our online collection, and up to 50% faster listing with image scan. Learn how collecting just got smarter at ebay.com/trading hub.
And you know something else, Rick?
I don't want to read it.
eBay is here for the card collectors with a trick for every trade, like
Yeah.
advanced tools for price checking with our Price Guide Beta.
Yeah.
Improved management with our online collection, and up to 50% faster listing with image scan. Learn how collecting just got smarter at ebay.com/trading hub. But listen to some of the stuff that they've sold in the last couple of weeks. A Patrick Mahomes 2017 Contenders Optic Gold Prism. How much you think?
67,000.
Not bad.
That's a great guess.
What a guess. A Magic. How about this one?
That's unbelievable.
A Kobe Bryant autographed 81-point game ticket. How much you think they
Well,
sold
I'd
that
pay
for?
about $14,948.
All right, lastly, then, I'll tell you what, you're amazing. How about I'm going to ask JM this question.
Yeah.
JM, how much do you think that they sold a Tom Brady autographed helmet, one of one, for?
Was Giselle wearing it?
No, she wasn't.
Then I'm going to say about 10,600.
Unbelievable. You guys are amazing. You guys are
listen.
absolutely
You
amazing.
really know your sports.
Thank you.
Stuff.
Speaking of
You see what
sports.
you see. You really know your sports.
Okay, let's speak.
Yeah, sports stuff. I don't.
Speaking of sports, as
Hi.
time goes on, Kissy, we're going to, and we know you're from
love those
Australia,
reflexes.
and you don't know a hell of a lot about baseball. So
I
every
do
once
not.
in a while, we will interject a question.
Sure.
And then maybe, like, over the course of the week, because you're not going to know the answer, maybe you can, like, research it and come back the next week and say,
Wait. I didn't sign up for homework in this.
Right.
I was going
in
to
this
say.
TV.
all right, well, then we'll
Sure.
help you. We'll help you.
How about like later on down the track in months' time, you can quiz me again on the show and see
All
if
right.
I learned it.
All right, so
How about
want
I give you
homework.
one
Us-
question?
Go ahead.
And look at me when I ask you the question.
Okay.
Who caught the last out in the game that clinched the pennant for the Red Sox in 1967?
That is tough now.
I know it was a fluke for him because he's not that good of a player.
She's getting warm.
Could that be Mr. Rico Petrocelli?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
She's one for
Amazing.
one.
But I got to tell you something really interesting. One year we had a exchange student stay with us from England. He was about 19 or 20 years old. Had never seen a baseball game. Try sitting with somebody and explaining the game.
Man, forget it.
It's next to impossible.
Baseball? Forget
It's
it.
next to impossible. You have to explain every single thing. Running up to first base. Why is he there? Why isn't he over there?
Right.
And he didn't swing at the pitch. Why is he sitting down? All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It was so difficult. Finally, I gave up. I said, watch the game. Watch the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is a hard game to explain right from scratch.
All right, listen, before we're going to talk a little baseball since Sal's not here, but we're going to do our giveaway right now. And this giveaway is for a signed Rico Petrocelli 8.5 by 11. Rico, you didn't shave that day. Look, you got a little stash going.
Yeah, I wonder what happened.
Did you grow a stash that year?
No.
How old were you then?
19, I think.
You're full of crap.
No. 20.
All right, so here is this week's winner in the bag. And this week's winner is, you're not going to be able to zero in on it, Jake Hunter.
Jake Hunter.
Jake Hunter. You can't see that, but that's okay. Jake Hunter is this week's winner. Jake, you know how it all works. You have 1 week only, to text us, PM us, make a comment. I won. If I don't hear from you in a week, you're out.
And then I'm taking it and selling it on eBay. No?
That's right.
Oh.
What?
That's not how it works? I said, and if he's out, then I'm taking it and selling it on eBay and making a fortune?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got it. You got
That's
it.
how it should be
Like
from now
25
on.
cents.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, is that the photo that far away? We're that far away from the camera?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't make faces?
You can.
No, you can, but they don't see him. That's why we did that.
No, it's got to get closer. We got to get closer.
All right.
Oh, Jesus.
I just
God,
looked up.
Christy, why do you listen to him?
Wait a minute.
Wait, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Do you want this?
Yeah,
Is that
but
what the people
now the
want?
three of us should
No,
be in
just
that
you.
shot.
No,
not me.
No. We're going to keep
mister,
it like that.
I want to pull faces. It's all you now. You're the
Oh,
star.
no.
You see what you caused?
God, you're a diva. This is the first time I'm meeting you, and this is you.
No,
This
well, I
is
mean,
what
what are
I'm
you
going to have
supposed
to
to
put up
do?
with?
You can bring it back.
How
You
about
can
we bring it back to
listen,
everybody?
I do have.
Who is it?
It is not. It is not. We're now in the future, so we don't know how the Red Sox did.
well.
No, as we're taping this, they're heading into Game 6, down 3-2 to the Astros.
Correct. So this
Just
is
to set the stage.
This is Friday, and tonight we're going to watch the Red Sox, and this
Together, right here,
we'll
with Chrissy and Dave.
We'll find out next Wednesday if they're going to continue on. Rico, what is your assessment?
Well, my assessment is that they got two games in Houston, and they hit pretty well in Houston last time they were there. Scored a lot of runs, and sometimes the weather's better. It's indoors, basically, and so I think it's inducive to good hitting.
So you think they can win tonight?
Yeah, basically.
John, what do you
that's it.
think?
So, I mean, this team has been comfortable being the underdog, more comfortable being the underdog all year, right? Yeah, so they're back kind of where they like to be. But I just want to ask a general question, because it's not just about this series, but the playoffs. And Rico and I were talking about this before the show.
Oh, are you eating the sandwiches while I was
while
up
we're
here
eating
working?
sandwiches, smoking a cigar.
Right. That's okay. Go ahead,
Drinking
continue.
water.
Gotta do
So
something.
I was asking him, as a guy who played at the highest possible level in a high-pressure city, has been in World Series, playoffs, what have you, 75 series, 67 series, whatever. How does a team go from hitting 2 grand slams in consecutive innings?
That's a great question,
right?
Rico.
And I want more than they found a good pitcher, because the other pitchers they hit were pretty good pitchers too.
That's a good point.
How do you go from scoring 9 runs, 12 runs, to now having the worst offense over the last?
How does
two
that
games
happen,
of this
Rico,
series?
overnight?
It happens because when especially a team hits as well as they did, not just 1 or 2 guys. It was almost the whole team. They were just whacking the ball over the place.
Ninth hitter, eighth,
Yeah.
ninth hitter.
So,
right.
so how does that happen to a whole team?
You go because there's so many hits in the bat, so to speak.
Right. Yeah.
But they went into a different environment. That's why I'm saying you'd be surprised. Boston was cooler. There was a little more wind. There's obviously a different background and all that. Even though you're home, you're excited. And just the same pitches, because I was watching, from the center field camera, those same pitches that they were fouling off in Boston, they were killing in Houston when they scored all those runs.
Yep.
Okay? That's the difference. Foul it off or miss it.
So the same thing then happens with a hitter, a hitting slump. Now you're on a tear for 2 weeks, a week, and you're killing the ball.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden the switch goes off,
Right.
and you can't. Hunter Renfroe can't hit his weight.
Yeah.
I mean, all of a sudden, what happens? You just fall off the cliff. You're not seeing the ball
Look
well.
at Kike Hernandez,
usually,
right?
Right.
He's on that historic tear,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he goes 0 for 3 or 0 for 2, and all of a sudden when I used to play ball, whether it was softball, baseball, whatever, when I was in a slump, I'd look out and I'd see a million guys in the field.
Exactly.
There was like no space
yeah.
to hit.
Yeah.
It's all, and
So
a lot
you
of it's
start
up
thinking,
here,
like
right?
when you
Yeah,
listen,
all kinds of you start pressing.
you had an 0 for 32 slump. We've talked about it before. But no, I mean, did that happen? Like, when did you know that you were in a slump? After your first 0 for 5, 0 for 6? No, seriously.
Keep going.
When I got to 0 for 24,
yeah, I started getting a little nervous. so did the team. No, 0 for 32, you just pressing. I was chasing balls in the dirt and all that stuff. And, I got the hits off 75-year-old Robin Roberts that's right. When he was with Baltimore.
That's how he got out of his slump.
A bloop hit and a ground ball.
Right.
And
sometimes
I was
that's
so
what does
happy.
it,
I got
right?
hits in the majors.
And that's
now.
where I think this is also where
That's
the
funny.
coaching comes into play, right, Rico? It's like,
Sure.
get them together, relax, whether it's giving them a day off or not going through the rigors so much. We got to chill, put that
do
behind
something
us.
different.
Hey, look at macro guys, big picture. I thought they were going to finish 4th in the division this year.
Yeah.
I did not expect us to be talking about the Red Sox.
Let me tell you something.
great
The
year.
Red Sox are playing with house money.
No doubt.
They're
This
playing
was a
with house
rebuilding
money,
year.
so it doesn't
It's a
matter.
rebuild.
Hey, listen, I'm going to give a book a little plug. If you ever want to buy this book won the bronze medal. Ben Franklin bronze
only
medal.
the bronze.
Yeah, this one. I see. This. No.
yeah,
You don't understand this.
Uh-huh.
The books that Molori and I write together win either a gold or a silver.
That's right.
The one that Petrocelli
Folks
writes,
ain't bad.
the one that Petrocelli
Bronze.
writes wins a bronze.
Were they actually 2 bird books this time that finished it? Rico, we lost one of the books to a book about the grouse.
The grouse.
A freaking
As
bird.
sports book of the year.
You know at the
grouse.
Oscars, Rico, when they show like the people that lose and they're all like,
yeah.
I was like pissed. Rico,
Anyway, you can purchase this book. The name of the book is An All-Stars Cardboard
book.
Memories. It really is a good book.
it's a great concept. It's all about Rico and all the Hall of Famers he faced
Rico played with
during his
50.
career.
He played with
or
56
against, right.
with or against Hall of Famers.
Awesome.
You can get it on Amazon.com. It really is a good book. And the best part of this book was not writing about the players, but sitting with him.
Yeah.
And him and I would be sitting in a deli, sitting in a bar room in Florida.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I would be at, I
can tell the pages where you were in the bar.
I would just turn on the mic. I'd turn on the mic and say, tell me about Juan Marichal.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Now, again, I've said this a zillion times.
The best.
The best stories are not going to be published after this guy takes the deep 6. Because they're in here.
No.
They're in here. There's the story about the guys like Fergie Jenkins and Marichal and all of these guys. And then there's the stories about these guys that just go a little further.
Sure, I bet.
Bo Belinsky. No, but it's
All right,
it was
listen.
a pleasure. I really appreciate it.
Just rip it, baby.
You got it, baby. If you want to have an absolute blast at obtaining some great modern and vintage cards, you got to check out Just Rip It. Our paisan, Charlie the Ripper Perino, along with Money Marco and the JRI gang give you the chance to participate in opening an unopened and sealed fresh wax or cello pack of your favorite sport. Who knows? You may wind up with a Mantle, a Williams, a Trout, a Brady, or even a Petrocelli. It's easy. You buy in. Charlie opens the pack, and you win. It's that simple. As a matter of fact, if you pull that special jewel, the guys at Just Rip It will even have it graded for you. Featured in the LA Times, ESPN, and USA Radio, Just Rip It is the hottest card-pulling show on the internet. Charlie and his staff make it fun, entertaining, and enjoyable. With his collection of hats, sound effects, and yes, you may even see him wearing the leather helmet from Rico's days playing for Newt Rockney. You'll love it. Jeez, and let's not forget that Just Rip It donates a part of their proceeds to various charities. That's Just Rip It, the break show that everyone is talking about. They're always digging up cardboard treasures. For a great hobby experience, go to justripit.com.
This guy's good.
He's going to be doing all the live
Good.
reads.
Yeah,
hey,
please.
listen, this was a blast. This is the first time in 5 years that the three of us have been together.
I am
wonderful.
I'm honored.
Chrissy,
Awesome.
thank you, the lovely
Come on.
Chrissy,
Dave.
the lovely David. You guys have
Yes.
a great
Good
team.
vacation.
Great team.
Happy to be on the Studio
See ya.
21 Podcast
See you in
Cafe
2
Network.
weeks.
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, this is going to be
Welcome.
really cool. And as I
Gonna be
said,
good
we got a lot of stuff going on later on. Have a great week. Have a great week. John and I are on next week. Rico in 2 weeks. You going on vacation or anything?
Yeah. 2 weeks.
With that being said, we love you guys. Thank you for all the
Thank
support.
you.
And happy collecting.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.